I haven't felt my feet in 23 years. And over those 23 years, my feet have also become slightly paralyzed. So how do I walk? Well, first we have to go back to how I lost feeling in my feet. I was born with spina bifida, lipomyelomeningocele, and I would have routine surgeries every year from the moment I was born to untether my spine. Usually what was tethering my spine was tissue, but when I was 10 years old, instead of tissue tethering my spine, it was a clump of nerves. My doctor had to make the executive decision to take out those nerves, and he did, which I'm very thankful for him doing. But as a result, there was nerve damage and continued nerve damage as I aged. Originally, I lost feeling on my right knee down. Slowly, some feeling came back in my leg. Some parts became hypersensitive. Some parts I could only tell pressure, but not temperature, and other parts it was the opposite. But after a year, it seemed it was concentrated more in my right foot. Over the years, I started losing feeling in my left foot and just other places on my body. Some of it I was very aware of because there is a feeling to not feeling. Some places I had no idea until I got injured and I didn't feel anything. But primarily the chunk of the nerve damage is in my feet. And if you have spina bifida, sometimes you may experience clawing in your feet, which means your knuckles kind of like tense up like that. My feet did start to claw. My right foot, since it lost feeling first, has the least amount of clawing. My left foot has the most. And then with the nerve damage came the paralyzation. I have some movement in my feet. I can slightly rotate them, but for the most part, I walk very heavy. I sometimes stomp. And the way I have been able to walk and somewhat keep my balance is with my vision. So a lot of like walking comes from being able to feel like your ankles, your inner ear, and your vision. So what happened immediately without me knowing, my brain kind of accommodated, is I started looking down a lot when I walk. And that kept me being able to have my balance. My vision took over the primary job of what my ankles were doing. And it wasn't perfect. I have balance issues. I still deal with it. I bump into my friends when we're walking. I need to use a cane sometimes when it is really hard for my brain to connect to my feet. Currently, I'm not able to use my power chair because my apartment's inaccessible. In my last place I lived in, if my feet were not cooperating with me, I would be using my power chair. And that's pretty much how I know how to walk. My eyes took over. Now I don't look down as often if I'm familiar with an area or it's my apartment. I use my peripheral visions to keep my balance. I still trip. I'm still a fall hazard, but it works. When I'm in a place I'm not familiar with or the ground is very uneven, I will be focusing on the floor to make sure I do not fall. I don't really miss what it feels like to feel your feet. I don't remember what it feels like, but I miss the safety that being able to feel your feet has. A lot of people like saying, oh, it's great, you can't feel pain, but pain is a good thing in that instance. Pain would let me know that my feet are injured. If an infection happens, if a break happens, I literally broke my foot and walked on it for 5 months straight because I had no idea it was broken and I didn't know until the swelling actually became bad. So I do miss that of knowing what's wrong with my foot. But yeah, that's why I can't feel my feet and how I'm able to walk still.